Hello, everyone. This is Kerwin, and welcome to another episode of Travel Talk. And today, our question comes from a reader, and this has to do with American Express Centurion Lounges. And the question, in short, is let's see. It says, why American Express does not build Centurion Lounges so as to accommodate their card members? Let's go answer this one, and I'll tell you the exact question. Let's go. So the exact question is why American Express does not build more Centurion lounges so as to accommodate their card members. Would it be possible to build their lounges the size of concourses? So this is a very I guess apropos question, because today everyone is talking about lounges and lounge access. Delta just made some changes to their programs that now limits the number of times people can visit a lounge using cards that are issued by Delta. Luckily, cards that are issued by American Express themselves are not limited. A little background before I attempt to answer this question is American Express created have what's called an American Express Platinum card. With the Platinum card, you get certain privileges. The current price is $695. I have a video that actually talks about the American Express card and saying how American Express actually pays you for the card based on what you get, as long as you use the services that they've afforded you. One of the perks of having the American Express Platinum card is lounge access and airport lounge access. So you can access American Express Centurion lounges, or you can access what they do. They give you a Priority Pass membership, and Priority Pass is a membership that allows you to use other airline lounges around the world, not just, say, in the United States. So with the American Express card, you show your card, you show your ID, and you show a boarding pass that you're departing on a flight within the next 3 hours. And then you're accepted to the lounge. And the picture behind me is the bar in one of the lounges. This might be Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. But the lounges looks pretty similar to that. It's Top Chef liquor. I don't drink alcohol, but it's Top Chef. No, this might be the one in Houston, actually. It's Top Chef liquor, et cetera, et cetera. But it's really a nice lounge. You have good breakfast. Actually, this is the one in Houston. It is a great it's a great breakfast. You can have a shower, and Top Chef drinks, and you have a place to relax. Problem is that the lounges have become very, very crowded. And so and American Express have also made changes to try to minimize the number of people that are in the lounge. And so it says, why do they not build more lounges to accommodate their card members? That's a good question. I think they're actually in the process of building quite a bit of lounges. And let me just look this up so I don't say something that's incorrect. I will tell you where the lounges are at the moment. And so American Centurion, we can just do Amex Centurion Lounge. And what that would give us is give us the location of where the lounges are, where the current lounges. Okay, so it says the Centurion network consists of 40 plus lounges worldwide, including Centurion lounges and escape lounges. Some of the lounges are not fully Centurion lounges, like in Fort Lauderdale. I think Fort Lauderdale has an escape lounge. Now, when these lounges are built, because the other part of the question is that why can't they use the entire concourse for the lounges? Airport real estate is extremely expensive. And if you have a lounge, you want to find the best part of the airport so you can get best views and things like that. and you have to work with the local airports and contractors and all that kind of stuff to get the lounges going. So it's not just, hey, I want to build a lounge, let me go build it here. It doesn't really work that way. There's a lot of work that goes on behind that. And they want to also put them in airports that are the larger airports. So for example, just looking through here to tell you where the lounges are. They have lounges in there's a list, but the list is a little weird how they do the list. Okay. So there's one in Charlotte, Dallas, Denver, Houston, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Miami, New York LaGuardia, New York JFK, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Francisco, Seattle, and then they have some international lounges. Like I've been to the one in London. So let's see where there's Hong Kong, there's London, there's Stockholm, there's Mumbai, there's Delhi, there's Buenos Aires, there's Sao Paulo, there's Melbourne, Australia, Mexico City, Monterey, Mexico, Sydney, Australia. Then there are some other ones that they call let's see, scrolling through here, they're called the escape lounges. And the escape lounges are located in, they call the Centurion Studio Partners. And so these are, they're usually not as big as the Centurion lounges, but they call the escape lounges. The Centurion Studio Partner is what they're called. And let's go look at their locations. Their website's a little weird. I can't really. Okay. Locations. We're touching down and growing routes across the years at locations open from east to west coast. And okay, it's just saying. All right, so here we go. So these seem to be in the smaller airports, although some of these are really smaller. But there's Bradley International, and Bradley's up in Connecticut. There's Cincinnati, Columbus, Fort Lauderdale, I mentioned that one. Greenville, Spartanburg, Minneapolis, Oakland, Palm Beach, Phoenix, Sky Harbor Terminal 4, and also Terminal 3. Then there is Rhode Island, TF Green Airport, Reno, Sacramento, A and B terminals, and Syracuse. So they do have a few of these partner, they call them escape lounges that are around. So the network of the lounges is actually quite large. And the other part of the question, it says, so they want to, why they don't build more? Well, I guess they probably, I mean, they have built a lot, but you can't have a lounge everywhere in essence. And I think this question is actually a rhetorical question, but that's fine. That's fine too. And would it be possible to build their lounges the size of concourses? I don't think so. I mean, they could. American Express is a very, very, very resourceful company. So they probably could build the lounges the size of concourses. But I don't think that would be helpful for the consumers. I think what really consumers want from the American Express lounge is whenever I show up and I give you my credentials, I don't want to wait. It's kind of annoying if you have to get to the lounge and then I have 45 minutes to play with, and I get to the lounge and I have to wait 30 minutes just to get in. And then once I get in, I have to go find a seat, and it's so crowded I can't find a seat. And so I find a seat, and then there's a line for the food, there's a line for the bar. So now I have no time. So by the time all that's over, I have to leave. They do have, when lounges are overcrowded, they do have a thing that you give them your phone number, and then they send you a thing. I think what they could probably do is you should be able to do some kind of reservation. So I know my flight's getting in at 8:30, for example, and maybe I have an 8:35 reservation and I have like a 10-minute window or something like that. And then they know that my flight is delayed. I mean, it'll take some programming, right? They know my flight is delayed, so then they adjust my reservation. So if my flight was delayed and I showed up at 8:45 and my flight was delayed coming in, I won't be told that, oh, well, you missed your appointment time. They would know that, oh, your flight was delayed, so I'm okay, kind of thing. And then, do something like that. This is not an easy thing to figure out, how to make sure that the members who are actually paying you to use the lounge actually get to use the lounge, because that is the issue. It is not the members' fault when you think about it, that if I paid you for a service and you can't provide that service, it is not my fault because I paid you for the service. And so it doesn't matter how many lounges you have, but when I'm ready to use it, I can't, then it's a disservice to me. So I think American Express needs to figure out, when you disservice the customer, you should compensate the customer for that. I don't know, maybe you give them points or something. You have membership reward points. Maybe you deposit some membership reward points for lack of service because I registered for the lounge and I tried to get in and I couldn't because the lounge was overcrowded. It just seems that the customers are the ones that are taking the brunt for it. And, all you hear is that, well, we can't build any more lounges, or we can't build lounges big enough to hold everybody. Totally get it. There are fire hazards and all that kind of good stuff. But at least if you gave us a disservice, then I think you should compensate us in some form or fashion, whatever that is. So I hope that answers the question. Probably not, but I hope it does. I mean, the lounges are nice. I really have a good time whenever I can get in the lounges, but that's only whenever I get in the lounges. And I've been to a lot of the lounges on here. I've been to most of them. And I've never had a bad experience in the lounge. Let's just say that food's always good, showers are on point, the employees are really, really good. They handle what they can. I think I may have initial issues when I started out in Houston, but they're good now. But so the lounges are really good if you could get inside and and enjoy them. So that's kind of what the real issue is. And it is something that American Express is trying to handle. But I don't think stopping us from entering the lounge is the way to handle it. Because guess what? We did pay for it. It's a perk that you gave us and we paid for it, but now we can't use it. But anyway, I hope this helps and I hope this answers your question. If you have any additional thoughts on the matter, please leave me a note below and I'll be more than happy to answer it. And if you've been to a lounge and it just doesn't work, or it's been crowded, leave a note too and tell me what it is, tell me how it is. And hopefully they'll be able to fix this issue. This is Kerwin with Travel Talk, fastfather.com, Cruisinaltitude.com. Have a great trip and enjoy that lounge experience. Talk to you soon.